Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're on the last day of the PTR, so I thought, as is customary, we will have a little look at the boards, take a look at the new builds, take a look at where everything's kind of settling. Obviously not a perfect look because PTR is only 2 weeks, you've got some pretty screwy XP mechanics, we've got probably some further balance changes, but I always think it's interesting at the end of PTR to go through it, so that's what we're going to do today. Before we do get going though, as always guys, thumbs up really does help out. Let me know what class are you planning to play next season, what you're going to start off. Barb for me, I might well pick Barb. It depends on the group that I end up in, but I'm happy to pick it up with the Z-Barb and Raycore. Could be pretty good. Looking at the leaderboards, I guess we'll just kind of do them in order, alphabetically. We'll talk about some of the clears and we'll go through and pick out some of the interesting bits. Now, the Raycore Barb has reached 142. This is with 3k Paragon. Now, obviously, the Paragon next season is going to be much, much higher than it is on PTR because obviously people are going to blast those Echoing Nightmares for quite some time. But on the other flip side, it's very easy to get gear on the PTR, so all of the gear is pretty much perfect. So perfect gear, and realistically by the end of next season the Paragon numbers will be way higher than this. But it is basically running the Weapon Throw and Ancient Spear Boulder Toss, primal everything, taking a bit of time to set up, but that's quite interesting. 142. Is there another 8 tiers to be squeezed out of this on the course of the season? Possibly with an absolute bunch of fishing. The Orgs will be easy to get. Obviously the gear probably won't be quite as godly as this, but it won't be far off by the end of the season. And again, we will have a bunch more Paragons, so you could well see a 150 Raycore clear next season. I think that's pretty likely. Just out of interest, has anybody been doing Wrath of the Waste? Not terribly. So Whirlwind Barb, 1600 Paragon, 132. I mean, nothing's changed for Whirlwind Barb, and obviously the season theme doesn't really affect any builds, but it does look like Raycore is going to be the king of the Barb next season. We will have to see whether the numbers for the set actually go up or down. I think I'd probably like them to go up a little bit. It would be nice if Raycore did become a really, really top tier build, but it's pretty close anyway. It's been a lot of fun to play, and I think it's going to be popular, I think. Moving us on to the Crusader. This again is a class that has had a balance change this season, and the balance is for the Invoker set, which has been buffed. 3.3k Paragon. Gear, not spent as much time getting everything primal, but obviously it doesn't really matter. The rolls can be quite good anyway. Obviously it's Thorns build, so no crit, so no crit on the helm, that kind of thing. Interesting to see 137. Nobody's really, I think, touched the Aegis of Valor. I don't really think anybody's really given it the time of day on PTR, which, in some respects, why would you? It's been a very strong build for a while. There's nothing to test season mechanic wise. The Echoing Nightmares obviously doesn't really affect these leaderboards because we don't have leaderboards for that. So whether the Thorns is more powerful than Aegis of Valor, I think is probably a little difficult to say at the moment. It could well be, just simply for the fact that obviously the clear is a lot higher, but people will have tried this, they will have pushed it, whereas obviously the Aegis of Valor, it just won't have really been touched. I'm not a fan of Thorns personally, but yeah, I don't know. It's one I've never really given a chance to. I don't like the single target builds that much, so yeah, I've always struggled a little bit with it, but maybe we'll check it out if it's going to be even stronger. Moving us on to the Demon Hunter, we have got a 143 clear on Marauder. So obviously Marauder is going to be very powerful. It's interesting to see which of the builds are rising to the top and bottom, given that we don't have the soul shards from last season, but Marauder is going to be strong. It's going to be very strong for the Echoing Nightmares. 3.8k Paragon, obviously fairly decent amount of Paragon to put on in 2 weeks, even with the XP boost for PTR. And yeah, showing it is a very strong build. 150 capable, probably, I think so, across the course of a season. Again, with all the fishing, which has obviously been made a little bit easier, now that we do have the Oryx Dream Rift. Just out of interest, because Gears of Dreadlands is always a bit of a fan favourite, I like playing it. 134, it's a little bit behind the Marauder, not by much, but still I think going to be behind it next season. And then Shadow, again, another fan favourite. There we go. Our man Darkside, giving that a bit of a push. It would be a good class to play next season. Demon Hunter always is, really good for the keys, speed GRs, and then you've got like a nice degree of variability, I think, that you can play. You can quite happily play Gears of Dreadlands, Marauder, Shadow, all quite powerful. UE, a little less powerful, but again, I just don't think people have really played it on the PTR. Moving us over to Monk, it does look like the Earth Ally is going to be the strongest Monk build. So this was 142 with 3.6k Paragon. Again, obviously some high level Netflix watching, I'm guessing, whilst getting all this stuff primal. Because even though you can reforge stuff as many times as you want, it is still roughly 400 reforges, or 200 to 400 reforges to get a primal, and you've got to get the right stats. So good luck with that. Using the Shenlongs, Inner is still going to be very powerful, even without the soul shards. So yeah, pretty good. I'm not sure if any of the other Monk stuff doesn't really look like it's been touched very much. Like a 1200 Paragon clear on Tempest Rush Sambuku. And then we've got the Patterns of Justice Sambuku as well. Yeah, 120. So again, nobody's really kind of given this terribly much time. But Inner is going to be very strong next season. Again, nothing has changed with it. It is out the box, it just works straight away. It's going to be very, very hard. I did say Barb at the start of the video, but it is going to be hard, I think, to resist starting a Monk just because it is so easy to set up. Necro 138, and this is with Corpse Explosion. So interesting. Obviously, these builds always take a bit of time to set up. You do need all the ancient items for your Legacy of Dreams Necromancer. Going to be quite fun, I think, to see how this does perform in the Echoing Nightmares. Obviously, the density for the Corpse Explosion is key. You do work on damage windows, which is a bit of a problem for the Echoing Nightmare, because you kind of have to keep that level of damage just like quite consistent to get through the waves, but could be quite interesting. Again, 2.4k Paragon. The Paragon will shoot way higher than this across the course of the season, and the 125 augments very easy to get. So yeah, it could be interesting to see where Necro finishes up. Usually quite strong, but we haven't had any Necro changes for a little while. I think Rathma was the last buff, and Rathma's pretty strong, 2.7k Paragon, and we've got like a 136 clear, so only just behind the Corpse Explosion. Yeah, so there is Necro. Witch Doctor, again, pretty strong clear here, 143 on Arakir. So again, also this is another one where this got buffed last season, no changes to it this season, but we don't have the soul shards, but still looking like it's going to be a very strong build. Sub 3k Paragon, nice gear with the augments, and being able to clear 143. So again, Witch Doctor 150, I think probably will get there. And then I just wanted to have a little check on Mundanugu. 128 doesn't really look like anybody's pushed this too far. Another 1 or 2,000 Paragon on there would obviously zoom that up a little bit. And Zuni's 135. Those brave Zuni master players, this is still squishy as hell. But yeah, Witch Doctor going to be very strong next season for solo pushing. Wizard, there doesn't really seem to be much hype around Wizard. We do have a 137 3.6k Paragon on Legacy of Dreams Energy Twisters, which is interesting. And then Firebirds, which, again, quite popular, hasn't really changed, still quite strong, 2k Paragon, and a GR133 clear with that. And I don't think there's any other Wizard sets that are getting terribly close. Veers is at 124, DMO 115, Towels 120. Again, just people who aren't really pushing this. Interesting, we've got the Typhon's Veil, so the Hydras, 2k Paragon, Hydra with Twister. Interesting, pretty high at 136. And that is it. So just let's have a quick look I tell you what, we should have a little look at IK as well. Yeah, nobody's touched that. We do have somebody doing Lon IK. Interesting. 141. So again, Barb could well have a couple of builds for 150. Maybe even 3 if you include Whirlwind. So yeah, quite interesting. Lon bombs, sometimes you can get a decent clear with this. Let's just have a little quick look at that. Come at me, bro. 132. Whoops, clicked the wrong thing there. Let's have a little look. That was no 6-piece set and view hero details, not profile. Yeah, Lon bomb still fairly strong again. 1600 Paragon, that's pretty low. With some hammers stuff as well. It's quite interesting. But yeah, I think overall it is going to be an interesting season. I was hoping for more balance changes. It would have been nice to have had some Necro love. Maybe pump up the Bone Spear again, just simply because I miss Bone Spear. I mean, you can still play it, and I think, as we were saying in the last video, it is kind of cool the way the season theme works, because we do get to play pretty much any class that we want. We get up to the 150, wave 150 in Echoing Nightmares, get a ton of Paragon, get a ton of Augments, so you're not really kind of crippling yourself. It's going to be excited to see whether the leaderboards actually filter out a little bit more and spread out, or whether we are just simply Monk and a Demon Hunter Fest with some Barb mixed in early on, and then people branching out a little bit later to Crusader, Necro, Witch Doctor, Wizard. I'd still say Necro is going to be the easiest leaderboard to get on next season. You know, if you want to get on any of them, it will be this one. I mean, look at that, rank 10. But I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, this PTR was more testing about Echoing Nightmares, so you know, maybe the leaderboard stuff takes a little bit of a backseat, but we'll see. But that they are the clears. Raycore looks like it's in a good spot, going to be fun. And other than that, we've still got the same builds being powerful. Inner Monk, you know, Crusader, Thorns, all that stuff. I've been the Filthy Casual. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy, guys. Peace.